Senior developers were the people who could solve all the problems, constantly told me what to do and knew all the answers. This is a quote from the article that one of my colleagues has sent me recently with the words, "Nice article about what it means being a senior developer." As a tech lead nowadays, I understand that junior developers are romanticizing a bit of what being a senior developer is. I know it because I've been there too. So, falsehoods junior developers believe about becoming senior. That's the name of the article written by blogger, software engineer and CTO Vadim Kravchenko. I'm not going to read the full article now. I'm going to read the hottest statements, and I'll complement it with my thoughts based on my own experience. Having all the answers. Expectation. I will be able to solve all the bugs and know what's wrong in a matter of minutes. Reality. The more I learn, the more I realize how little I know. Let's figure this out together. Your expertise isn't measured by the knowledge you possess, but by your ability to. First, work with uncertainty. Second, ask the right questions to get to where you need to be in terms of understanding. Third, knowing how to find a solution once you have the understanding. This is so true. But I would even add here the fourth point, risk mitigation. I mean, you understand where the biggest risk is. It's not necessary, but this is an important thing that you start paying attention to while becoming senior. Anyway, the main idea here that in the beginning of your career, you think that you will gain more expertise with your experience, but then after you realize that being an experienced software developer is not even about an expertise, it's about being a problem solver. Of course, a problem solver, this is such a cliche in our industry, but you know what I mean. I mean, you have enough confidence and enough experience that you can jump to the unknown project and to start working on it. Working with latest tech. Expectation. As a senior, I'll get to play with the latest tech and build amazing projects. Reality. This legacy code isn't going anywhere, and neither am I. Let's fix some bug that happens once every full moon. As a senior developer, you'll find that a significant part of your role involves understanding these systems, figuring out why they are breaking and optimizing them to meet current and future demands, while also making sure not to break anything yourself. Yes, it's not as fun as it sounds, but that's the reality. Most of the software nowadays are legacy applications that require refactoring, which won't be approved anytime soon, so you'll have to patch it up and work with what you have. I've said it already in one of my previous videos. Programming is extremely uncomfortable. The technology changes, the people in the team change, the requirements change, and you need to deal with it. This is how the life works. But I can't really agree that all your job is dealing with the legacy code. It depends on the company and on the team. I know some senior developers that are building the new projects from scratch for the existing companies. I know some senior developers that have just joined some new startup and they're working on designing a new product. Also, even if you work with the legacy system, you still need to explore new technologies, learn new stuff and try to understand why they are good and how maybe you can use them. So I would probably say that it's important to do both, being able to work with the legacy system and knowing how to build a new project from scratch. It's the part of your personal development as a software engineer. By the way, I know also some junior developers that are involved in the greenfield projects too. No more boring tasks. Expectation. Being senior means I can avoid all the boring tasks. Reality. Endless meetings, documentation and code reviews. Oh, and did I mention debugging legacy systems on Friday at 6 p.m.? I think the main difference here is that with becoming more senior and gaining more experience, you also gain more discipline. So if something happens on production before the weekend, you just jump straight into it and get the things done. Even if it's boring, even if you don't want to do it. And if you don't have discipline, it may be very difficult for you to become a senior developer. That's it. The senior role comes with its share of seemingly mundane yet essential tasks, endless meetings, meticulous documentation, thorough code reviews, and yes, debugging legacy systems at the most inconvenient times. Yes, sometimes it can be too many meetings, and sometimes I do suffer from them. For example, daily stand-up is one of the most useless meetings ever, in my opinion. But I'm trying to develop a skill to fight for my time. This is definitely a skill. You need to learn how to fight for your time and to attend only necessary meetings. I'm saying it's a skill because you can't just decline every meeting that you don't want to attend. You need to learn how to select important meetings only, how to convert an unnecessary meeting to a Slack discussion maybe, or how to convince others that the meeting isn't necessary at all, or probably they don't need you there. It's a skill and it's not easy. Regarding the code reviews, I think it's not boring, to be honest. It's the way how developers can share the knowledge. In some cases, opening a pull request is the best way to share your idea with others. In my opinion, in some cases, code reviews is better way of interaction than meetings. By the way, I made a nice video about effective code reviews. I highly recommend you to watch it after this one if you are interested in the topic. We need to understand that this is our responsibility to enjoy the job that we are doing. It doesn't matter if you are a junior developer or a senior one. I believe that balance of boring tasks and interesting tasks always remains more or less the same. It depends on you if you enjoy your job or not. Making big changes. Expectation has a million ideas on how to change this company 180 degrees. Let's improve everything. Reality knows that nothing will change without management approval and the necessary budget. It's a common sentiment among junior developers to look at the systems, processes, and technologies around them and see endless opportunities for improvement. I was like that as well. I remember joining a company, taking a look at how they do things, thinking I knew better, and started shooting suggestions left and right. I don't think it's relevant to junior developers only, as I think I can continue now my previous thought. If you enjoy what you are doing, if you feel excited, this is your natural state. You've got an inspiration, you want to change the things. It happens a lot to senior developers, especially you can see it when they are joining a new company or changing the team, joining a new team. And I think actually it shouldn't happen only when you change something. You always need to be excited and, to be that hammer that wants to knock every nail. Learn to communicate the value of your ideas in terms that resonate with relevant stakeholders. Figure out how the budget is allocated and take part in the resource planning. The bigger the project, the harder it will be to jump through all the hoops, but well worth it. This is a huge skill and it needs practice. There are different ways to do that, and I even made a short video about one of the ways how to do that. I've just said it and I will say it again. The point is that you shouldn't stop submitting your ideas even if you are already a senior developer. And it's totally fine that it should be approved by the management, as management is the connection point here between the developers, product team, and so on and so on. Building a software is a team game. If you work in a good company, your ideas will be heard. You'll get a fair feedback on your ideas and maybe some of them will be approved. Time to relax. Expectation. Once I become a senior, I will have more time to relax. Reality. It's fine, I'll finish the work on Saturday. You become more accountable and receive a higher salary for your commitment. Junior developers don't really care if their task is blocking 10 other people and project delivery, but you do. These responsibilities mean that your work can extend into the evenings or weekends, especially when deadlines loom or unforeseen issues arise. I can't really agree on that, because without becoming more accountable, you'll probably never be promoted. You gain both experience and trust during your career. I believe that junior developers do care. They work hard and sometimes they even tend to overcomplicate the things. If a junior developer doesn't really care if his task is blocking 10 more people and project delivery, as it's said here, but if he doesn't care because he doesn't understand it, it's the one thing. But if he knows that his task is blocking 10 other people and doesn't really care because he just doesn't care, he makes a damage to a company intentionally. And I don't think this is a person that you'd like to have on your team at all. It's not even about the seniority now. I encourage you to develop strategies that support a sustainable balance between work and life. This might involve honing your time management skill or learning to delegate more effectively. It also means making an conscious effort to prioritize your health and personal relationships rather than a higher salary. I think the understanding of it comes with experience and seniority. This is a great advice. Follow your expectations of what perfect or at least good life-work balance is while becoming a senior developer. Deciding what to do. Expectation. Once I become a senior, I will lead big projects, have a big impact, and tell others what to do. Reality. I miss the times when people told me what to do. To be honest, I never miss that times. Maybe someone enjoys looking like this only and enjoys doing what he's set to do, but this is not how I see the job of a software engineer at all. The more senior you become, the less people will tell you what to do, and the more they expect you to know what needs to be done. You go from dealing with a task like implement quick sort instead of merge sort in function XYZ to the management has decided to integrate AI in the HR department. How can we make it happen? Both of those require hands-on work, but on a different level. Fair enough. This is what problem solving is, and this is what, in my opinion, the interesting tasks are. By the way, if we are going back to the topic of the boring tasks, doesn't it sound strange that on the one hand, as a junior developer, you want to avoid boring tasks, but when you finally don't need to avoid them, how's it saying? Implement quick sort instead of merge sort in function XYZ. So you're complaining about getting more responsibilities now when you don't need to do boring tasks anymore. Is it what you are trying to do? With great power comes great responsibility and anxiety. Leading big projects means facing the pressure of making the right decisions and the fear of failure. It's a rewarding challenge, but it can also be a daunting one. Eventually, you might miss the days of focusing solely on coding tasks without the added responsibilities of figuring out the big picture transitions. With more experience, you are able to see the things better, to see the things from a different angle, to ask the right questions and thus to gain more understanding and more confidence in your decisions. But I think I understand what the author of this article is trying to say. But still, is the fear of failure so big that you are ready for someone to tell you what to do instead of finding the solution yourself and to make all the way yourself? I don't know. At least I enjoy working on the complex stuff despite the fear of failure. I'm not even sure I've got the fear of failure now, to be honest. I just assume that everything is doable, is just the function of time and effort. Maybe if you still have the fear of failure, you are not ready to be a senior developer, because making decisions is one of the core things that senior developers do. Becoming irreplaceable. Expectation. Once I become senior, they won't be able to lay me off. Reality. I hope I won't be laid off. It's a comforting thought to believe that seniority equates to job security. However, the reality of our industry, known for its rapid evolution and fluctuating market demands, tells a different story. You might be thinking, I'm the only one who knows how to fix this legacy system. They wouldn't dare to let me go. And then they close down the whole project entirely, making your role redundant. This is true. We all remember big tech layoffs not so long time ago. Nothing can give you a job security. By the way, even if you think that, how is it saying, I'm the only one who knows how to fix this legacy code, can give you job security when the project isn't closed, you are wrong. I believe that this is one of the main goals of your team, to build the work and the knowledge sharing this way that nobody will become irreplaceable. Because you can be on holidays, you can take sick days, you can work on some side projects. As for me, it even sounds stupid to aim being the only one who can fix something in your legacy code. I think whenever it happens, it only damages the full software development process. And it's a huge red flag that there is something unhealthy in the team. While senior roles do come with a degree of stability thanks to the experience and expertise required to attain them, the notion that one cannot be laid off is a myth. The one thing that is worth to mention that a senior developer maybe will be able to find a new job faster during the layoffs. Anyway, it depends. But we all know the current state of the market nowadays. And if you're an experienced developer that people enjoy working with, you'll be able to find your job faster than a junior developer. It brings us to another point that isn't mentioned in this article, but I would like to add it and to summarize. My expectation was that being a senior developer is about gaining more experience and improving my technical skills. But the reality says that soft skills are no less important. And communication skill is probably the huge one. You understand the importance of it only after a certain experience. This is not something that is explicitly tested during software engineer jobs interviews in most of the companies. And this is not something that is black or white. This is something that you understand that needs to be improved only after more interactions with other people. In general, I think this is a nice article and an interesting topic, and if you want me to make more videos like that, hit the like button under this video. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.